Welcome back to the We Are City channel for another episode of our Manchester City FC26 career mode. In the last episode we had 4 big games, some good results, some poor results, but reasonably decent enough. I mean, we won the Manchester derby by 3-1. But the big news of the episode really was that Tajani Rangers' new signing, key man in that Manchester City midfield, did pick up an injury after a horrible challenge by Jack Hinshelwood in the Brighton game, which is going to keep him out for 3 months. So no Rangers for Manchester City for 3 months. That is going to keep him out for quite a long time. Let's see what's in store in today's episode, kicking things off with UEFA Champions League action, because we do have Galatasaray at home. We've got Arsenal away in a massive game at the Emirates. A cup action and chance for some of our sort of fringe players to play against Nottingham Forest away from home. It's then going to be Burnley at home, which I think will simulate the game against Burnley, and finish the episode maybe with a game against Bodo Glimt in the Champions League, and maybe even Brentford away in the Premier League. Of course, we want to get through a good pace in this series. A month per episode is what we're aiming for, and that is why we will try and move on through the month of September and into October in today's episode. I mean, Real Madrid away in the Champions League coming up as well, Villa away, so many big games that Manchester City might have problems in. Well, John Stones has come to Pep Guardiola and says he wants to talk about his contract situation. Of course, we know that John Stones' contract is up at the end of the season, like Bernardo Silva. He says, we're going to talk about our contract, aren't we? And he wants to sit down and discuss new terms. He wants to stay at City. He said nothing from the club, and he's not happy about that. We don't want an unhappy John Stones. We're going to try and keep him happy. There's plenty of time. Hopefully that sort of keeps him happy for now, but he's got to prove his fitness if he's going to get a new contract at Manchester City. I mean, maybe we just give him a new contract and then decide his future next season. That might be the case. We don't want an unhappy player on our hands. So Galatasaray in the UEFA Champions League is our first test of our European campaign this season. They have got some pretty well-known City players in there. İlkay Gündoğan on the bench of former City players. Leroy Sané in there as well. It looks a good side. I mean, Roman Šalai is playing more of an attacking winger for the Hungarian national side. He plays as a right-back here. Wilfried Singo is on the bench as well for them. Also, some decent players in Mauro Icardi. Barış Yilmaz on that left-hand side, a very quick, pacey player. Torreira and Mario Lemina in the midfield. Osimhen, of course, a top-quality striker who's banging the goals in Turkey. I don't know why Manchester United or someone like that didn't make a move for Vitor Osimhen. But a key player for me, and one that's been picked out here, has got to be Gabriel Sara. A player actually linked to Manchester City, one that I think Hugo Viana and his scouting department have sort of picked out as a sort of versatile midfielder for City's future. Could play as the 10, can play as an 8 and a 6 as well. Will him or Gundogan start on the return to the Etihad or away from home? Are we going away to Galatasaray here? I'm not quite sure. Is it away or at home? It's at home, so surely Gundogan's return to the Etihad should be quite nice. Leroy Sané back as well. Well, if Tajani Rangers is injured, we do bring in captain Bernardo Silva who's going to start in that midfield, and that is probably going to be our midfield 3 for a lot of the start of the season, with Ryan Shaqiri and Nico and Kovacic rotating with those 3. So it is going to be the usual 3. It is going to be Savinho on the right and Marmoush on the left. Erling Haaland through the middle. Doku drops out. He's a little bit tired. The back line, it's Reinight New at left back. Aboukadir Kosanov back at right back. He's out of position, but we're learning that role. And then John Stones comes in alongside Vardiel. A more sort of ball-playing base today for Manchester City, with, of course, Gigi Donnarumma in goal. On the bench, we've got Doku, Bob, Ryan Shaqiri, Kovacic, Nico, O'Reilly, Diaz, Ake, and James Trafford. Looking to get a bit of game time for Ake as well at some point. He hasn't played much this season. And Ryan Shaqiri, we need to start getting him starting more games. We know his quality. We know how much Pep Guardiola rates him. And I like to get him involved if we can do. Well, this is the game that kicks off our UEFA Champions League campaign this season. The intention of going much better, much further than last season. Of course, City knocked out in even the qualifying round for the knockout stages. We intend to go all the way to the knockout stage this season, and we intend to get to, I hope, maybe the Champions League semi-final. I think that is a realistic aim for this team. Maybe even the final. We've got up against a side that have got a few City players in there, former City players, in terms of Leroy Sané and İlkay Gündoğan. Returns to the Etihad for them, and also some real attacking talent as well. Real good midfielders. I mean, Yilmaz, Sané, Osimhen, Singo starts as well. Be interested to see how they do line up, because they are, of course, keep in mind, the champions of Turkey. Well, there's the City side starting the UEFA Champions League today. Good to see John Stones in there. I rate John Stones so highly. His fitness is an issue. If he stays fit, a new contract surely is put on the table. Here's the Galatasaray side that don't go with İlkay Gündoğan, so he doesn't start his return to the Etihad, but Leroy Sané does, and he will be given, I'm sure, a really warm welcome. We'll run through his side now for Galatasaray, which is a strong one. We'll see who's on the bench as well for them, who could be the options for this side. Leroy Sané, the number 10. On the bench is Gundogan and is Icardi. So it's Kakir in goal. A back four there. Singo starts as centre-back with Jonathan Sanchez. Is Captain Torreira with Lamina. And then Gabriel Sara starts in the 10, which is a bit more defensive because I see him more of a more number 8, really. Vitor Osimhen up top. He's the man to try and keep quiet. Kusanov, Foden. Kusanov and Foden again. Back to Joshko Vardy at the moment. They're struggling to play out of this pressure from Galatasaray. And that's so poor by Bernardo Silva. A chance for Osimhen! What a chance that he puts wide here. That's a big chance for Galatasaray at the start of this one. But him working hard for his team here. Yilmaz. Tell you what, I'm not enjoying Kusanov at the moment. That game against Brighton, he struggled at right back and he's struggling again today. And Yilmaz is going all the way. And Yilmaz still here. Donnarumma, nice and strong, makes the save here, smothers it. But to get past Abdulkadir Kusanov is too easy at the moment. Foden goes and nicks it. Phil Foden, brilliant from Foden here. But what support has he got? He's got Savinho in ahead of him. Savinho. That's one challenge, Savinho. Oh, and then... I mean, I knew he's got to be bursting at the wide area there to give Savinho a pass, and he's not. Alan's not been involved in the game in the first half. Joshko Vardy. Bernardo Silva. Marmouche. In behind to Bernardo here. Cross in. Haaland with a header here, and into the hands of Kakir. First chance of the game for City. Haaland puts it into the goalkeeper's hands. That's a really poor first half. The back line need to get more involved at the moment. They're not involved enough when we get up ball in the wide areas. We can't recycle possession because they're so deep. Vardy goes and gets it. That's exactly what we see from our centre-backs. Rodri in towards Kusanov. Rodri. Vardy. Right to Bernardo again. In behind to Marmouche again here. Onside. Marmouche! Pokes it goalwards and away by Sanchez. Right to Savinho. Difficult for the Brazilian here, but he's trying to beat his man Savinho. Pull it back. Back out to Rodri. Foden. It's open up for Phil Foden here! What a goal by Phil Foden! 1-0 Manchester City. So much better in this second half. We've got the defenders on the ball. They've pushed further up. Got involved in the game, which is what we needed in that first half. We didn't have it at all. And Phil Foden opens the scoring here. Did so much better. So much better. Tactically tweak things. Asked the defenders to be ball playing but build up play. And they were involved more in the build. What a finish by Phil Foden that is. The POV camera shows the no-look finish that Phil Foden does regularly time and time again. Rodri into him from the edge of the box. That touch takes it away from Torreira, who's worried about Marmouche. And Phil Foden wraps his foot round it and rifles it in that top corner. And where is that trademark Phil Foden finish? I don't know. Well, City lead by 1-0, and it's Phil Foden who's back and in Manchester City's midfield. Yeah, Sané and Vardy all great defending. And Aït-Nouri, lovely feet to get it away towards Marmouche. Up towards Phil Foden. And on to Bernardo Silva here. And Bernardo onto Omar Marmouche here. And the Egyptian can stretch his legs in this wide area. Marmouche lifts one in. Haaland looks to attack it. Wilfred Singo away. Well played. Savinho. And back to Stones. Well played City there to keep possession. Vardy. Stones. Oh, John Stones, a massive mistake there on Yilmaz. Terrible from Stones. Yilmaz. Yilmaz! Over the bar by Yilmaz. Lucky Manchester City, and we're going to make changes here. That was a big mistake by John Stones there. That was a big chance for Yilmaz, who probably should have scored there. Ilkay Gundogan comes on for his return to the Etihad, which is good to see for Gabriel Sara. A heavy touch by Oscar Bob, but Shirky gets it back. Bob, Shirky. Cross that near post. Howell is there! Big save by Kakir. Barian Shirky making an immediate impact for Manchester City. Lamina, 1 minute referee, we've played it. Today a full-time whistle goes. 3 points for Manchester City at the start of the UEFA Champions League at home to Galatasaray. Certainly not an easy game to start things off. That first half we really did struggle. But once we got in possession, when we got on the ball, we created a fantastic chance for Phil Foden, who finished it off. And City get all 3 points. A bit of a grinding out result, really, that one. There is talk about Savinho having a poor game in the press conference. 0 shots off today. Are you disappointed with the performance? Well, we're going to motivate Savinho, but he hasn't been so impactful from the right-hand side so far, has he? And Kusanov, people were impressed with his right-back performance. A show-stopping performance, looking for the most successful tackles. Celebrate Kusanov. Maybe his future is at right-back. Who knows? Well, we have started the season pretty well. We sit in 6th place. 1 loss, 1 draw and 2 wins, which is maybe not Manchester City standard, but we'll take it at the moment. Big surprise at the top of the table start is Newcastle. 15 points, 5 games, 5 wins for them. Nick Woltemade making a big impact. Sunderland up there with Forest as well. Ahead of us is Arsenal, who we play next. Ahead of us is Manchester United as well. But where are Liverpool? They sit itself in 8th position. 2 wins and 2 losses, actually, which is a surprise. A 9th position for the current champions. Down at the bottom with the worst start so far. Wolves with only... how many points? 1 point. 1 point for Palace, 1 point for Crystal Palace, 3 points for Burnley. Not a great start for them. But we are on 7 points. We're not far off Arsenal on 8 points. And they are our next task. We go away to the Emirates. So this time we're going to go at the Emirates today with a few changes to the starting 11. So Diaz comes back in for Stones. Kusanov keeps his place at right back. It's the same midfield 3 and 2 changes in the forward line. Marmoush drops out for Jeremy Doku, who's back on that left-hand side. And Ryan Shaqiri comes in for Savinho on the right. Still plenty of options on the bench. Still lots of quality on the bench. And I think that is a strong enough starting 11 to maybe go away and beat Arsenal at the Emirates. We know City in real life play very defensively, hit Arsenal a counter. We might end up doing that today if we can't get the ball. Pretty much warm up for these Manchester City players. Pep Guardiola, true test for him against his former apprentice in Mikel Arteta. The atmosphere at the Emirates will be absolutely crazy for this one. We know what it means to Arsenal to beat Manchester City more than winning a league title. Sometimes it does feel that way. They're a side that have finished second, 4 years on the bounce. They're looking to change that this season. Liverpool looking to try and go back-to-back league titles. They are our biggest test, I think, in the Premier League title race this year. Chelsea could be involved. Man United, I don't expect to be. But at the moment, it is Newcastle at the top. Very early stage of the season. These two sides go to head. Let's see how Mikel Arteta does line up. Has he put the handbrake on? How defensive is the Arsenal starting midfield? So here we go. This is Mikel Arteta's starting lineup. A 4-3-3 as expected, with David Raya starting in goal. It is White, Saliba, Gabriel and Nkapie the back four. Rice, Odegaard and Mikel Merino in a midfield 3. Saka, Gyökeres and Trossard in a front 3. No Jesus, no Havertz, no Eze. They are on the bench. Gyökeres, Merino. He steps out. Nkapie, ball behind here. Trossard. Diaz with a footy, not enough on Trossard. Trossard just scores for Arsenal. Pull by Ruben Diaz, who can't get across to him and stop the and make the tackle. It's too easy here, Diaz. That's so bad. Why he goes to tackle with the left leg and not the right leg, I don't know. Who can tell me the answer to that one? I don't know. And from a near, really close angle, slams in the top corner past Donnarumma. It's past Ben White. Waiting for that support. Comes in Aït-Nouri. Cross comes in. Haaland is there and Raya stronger than him. Foden tries to make one. He can't do it. Gyökeres. Diaz cuts it out. Bernardo Silva. And the half-time whistle goes when we have a bit of a counter-attacking opportunity. Arsenal 1, City 0. Aït-Nouri to Bernardo. Rodri. Bernardo. Rodri. Foden. Shaqiri. Back into Foden. What a ball. Foden inside. Phil Foden! What a goal by Phil Foden, who at the moment is the star man in this City side, especially in today's episode. What a little bit of run by Phil Foden. Then the cut inside to Ben in the top corner is brilliant. Ryan Shaqiri with the assist as well. But what a bit of play by Phil Foden there. The way he shifts it back onto his left foot. Here, past Gabriel. Opens up the body. What a finish by Phil Foden. We'll see it again here. Shaqiri, what a pass that is in the here. Gabriel completely done. Creates the space and makes the finish. Pep Guardiola watches on. Impressed with that from Phil Foden. Doc is giving him all sorts of troubles here. Doc in behind to Aït-Nouri. And Arsenal in trouble again here. And he pulls it across to Haaland. What a save by David Raya. Odegaard. Phil Foden makes the challenge. Well played. And Rodri wide to Aït-Nouri. The City see a counter-attacking opportunity again, because Aït-Nouri sees Jeremy Doku in space here. And Doku. And inside goes Doku. And Doku still. And Doku still! What a save by Raya. How has he kept that one out? Into Rodri. Big ping to Doku. Now first time to Bernardo Silva. And back to Jeremy Doku. And there's trouble for Arsenal again here. And Doku. Doku against Saliba. Oh, great defending. Thought I was going to do him. And here's Saka. Aït-Nouri's going to get back here. Saka and Aït-Nouri again. I tell you what, he has been special, Aït-Nouri at left back. The play. Wide he goes. So the Ecuadorian is he in Nkapie. Kusanov, cross out to the far post here. Saka with the header. Good defending by Nuri behind for a corner. And City do make those changes now. So Marmoush will come on for City. Shirky, Bernal Silva off. Marmoush and Nico on. Mikel Merino. Rice. Around the corner here. Gyökeres. Good feet from Gyökeres. Ødegaard. Through to Saka here! Oh, what a miss by Bukayo Saka. Arsenal should have won that game right there and then. But they don't do. Full-time, Manchester City 1, Arsenal 1. Points are shared at the Emirates. But what are they doing? They should have won it there, Saka. What a miss. We'll take the... Well, the kick analysis for the Arsenal game looks like this. I mean, the highest rated player's got to be Phil Foden, 86, after that absolutely awesome goal that he scored. I thought Rodgers class in midfield. I thought Shirky and Doku were absolutely fantastic in the wide areas. They get 83 and 80 between them. Then I think out of the fullbacks, I think Reunite Nuri, 80. He was probably the best out of the fullbacks. City's defence not amazing. I thought Kusanov give the ball away way too often. You can see on the right side of the analysis, best 11. After the first 2 games, we've not included that, but we are going to have that soon. That is going to come in the next episode. So after we've got sort of 3 to pick from, we can see who's going to be our best fanalised best 11 for each episode and each then team over the whole of the season. Average score of 78 between them. Erling Haaland only 78 and Bernard only 76 as well. I mean, the lowest rated was Kusanov for that performance. Maybe I was a bit harsh with Donnarumma getting 79 because I thought he did actually make some decent saves. Diaz as well I thought was quite good at times. I give him a 74. But that's the way I've gone with things. Of course, over the season we'll see who's our best 11 in that 4-3-3. I expect Haaland obviously to be through the middle. But Foden's going to be in there as well. Rodri's certainly going to be in there. And there's some players performing really well. I mean, if O'Reilly does really well at left back, he might be in our analysis best 11 because we only go off 1 game per episode. Go over to the Google Play Store, download Finalysis. That is the place to be to show your passion as a fan. Well, up next is Carabao Cup action for Manchester City away from home to Nottingham Forest. And Rico Lewis has come to the boss and said he wants to play today. You'll get your chance, Rico. He will be in the side. We're going to rotate things heavily. And this is the expected lineup for Ange Postecoglou's side. They've got some key players in there. One that was nearly a Manchester City player in the club captain, Morgan Gibbs-White, in that middle. Chris Wood's going to really create a physical battle. They've got 2 physical centre-backs, really, Mario and Milenkovic as well. James McAtee doesn't look like he's going to be included in the side. But there's so many quality players in that Forest team. It's a shame that it hasn't worked out for Nuno Espirito Santo. So far in the Premier League, recent 5 games in the Premier League anyway, they're undefeated, 3 wins and 2 draws. So in the Cup, yeah, they'll rotate, but they definitely want to go far in the Cup. That's the chance for them to win some silverware. We still want to win the silverware as well. There's a side for Forest today in the EFL Cup. We will be captained by John Stones. In goal starts James Trafford. It's Nunes, Stones, Ake and O'Reilly. City's back 4. Kovacic, Nico Gonzalez and Rico Lewis in the midfield 3. It's Savinho off the left, Bob off the right and Omar Marmoush through the middle. City do have the impact options on the bench like Haaland, Doku, Shirky, Phil Foden. Defensive options in Nuri and Joško Vardiol. And 2 players who are part of the squad for this season. Calvin Phillips is on the bench today. It gives Roger a rest. He could come on at centre-back if needed. And there also is Divine Mukasa. Mukasa, who is the young player you guys voted for to be given the push in the first team. And if we can get him some first team minutes today, we will do. So EFL Cup action for Manchester City. Nottingham Forest our task. We go away from home to the City ground to take on Ange Postecoglou's side. So first bit of EFL Cup action for the season for Manchester City. This is a trophy that we do want to be competing for to try and go far in this competition. Nottingham Forest know that is their chance at maybe some silverware under Ange Postecoglou. They're not going to win the league title. They're not going to go and win in Europe either. I think they are in, of course, the Europa League. They're starting Matt Sells in goal. Zinchenko, former City man in the fullback areas, and Aina. It is the very impressive Anderson and Dominguez in the midfield. And it's Backwine and Doyle in the wide areas. Captain Gibbs-White in behind. Up top is Chris Wood. And they do have Hudson-Odoi on the bench, as well as Williams, Calamedu, Marcel de Cruz as well. They look to have rotated their side slightly in terms of the bench options anyway for Ange Postecoglou. Marmoush the one in there. Nico. Kovacic. Nunes. Wide to Oscar Bob. Across the box here away by the defender. Kovacic picks it up and City continue their pressure here. Nico. Rico. O'Reilly. Nico. Lewis. Back into the midfield again here. Kovacic. Space out wide for Oscar Bob. Trouble for Forest here. Bob. Across the box. Kovacic is waiting. Cleared away. His fullback gone a little bit astray there. The ball behind towards Gibbs-White. John Stones has done fantastic again there, Stones. And O'Reilly brings it away Even better from O'Reilly. Lewis. O'Reilly. Fantastic play. Savinho. O'Reilly. Brilliant from City on this left-hand side. Here's Nico O'Reilly. Needs Savinho running. Savinho keeps going here. Savinho. Savinho! Saved by Sells. He looked to pull it back to Marmoush there. Drives the opposition when needed to. Nunez. Oscar Bob. Bob for City. Bob. Inside Bob. Saved by Sells and Marmoush on the rebound. I think that's his first goal of the season for Omar Marmoush. And Manchester City have the lead here in the FL Cup. Through the middle, City's Egyptian. City's number 7. And he gives the lead here. And we've played really well, I think, in those central areas. I've liked the position of the midfielders and the fullbacks. Nice by Bob. Gets the shot off. Pulled back to Omar Marmoush after a save by Matt Sells. And it's a simple tap-in for Marmoush. Frustration for Ange Postecoglou, whose side really have been dominated by City. Well, that might not last. Chris Wood here. Falling behind, all right. To back. Wow! Into the hands of James Trafford. Marmoush. Kovacic again, who actually had a really good game. Lewis. Great pass to Savinho here. Across the far post. Marmoush attacks it! It's 2-0 City. And what a thumping header from Omar Marmoush there. Lifted in by Savinho. And he gets his second of the game. And I tell you what, we're performing really, really well. I've been impressed by this tactic, which I will show at half-time. I've got to, because tactically it's working brilliantly. Lewis wide towards Savinho. What a lift in. And it's a thumping header by Marmoush ahead of Murillo. Gets up, attacks it well. And what a header by Marmoush. He's such a real potent centre-forward. Can play in and around as well. Does it so well. And this is the tactics we've gone with today. So you can see that Lewis is a playmaker, Kovacic is a holder. The wingers are on versatile. I've asked the fullbacks to play as inverted build-up players, with Stones a build defender and Ake more a defensive player. That has worked so well. I've been so impressed by this tactic. Here's Anderson, and they're going to grow into this game if we keep making those mistakes. Onto the fullback, Aina. That's O'Reilly, is it? Good feet work by Aina. Aina! Oh! Just wide the post. That seems to be the real key way that we're conceding goals. Our fullbacks and centre-backs being beaten in wide areas. Come a little more stretch in this second half. You're diving for a challenge and then the opposition run away from you. Then you've got a lot of area to recover. Oh, Nunez. Well played, Nunez. Well played, Nunez. Fantastic from Nunez there. Kovacic has come back from an Achilles injury, so I don't want to push things too much. He's not going to be involved at the start of this one. And it's going to be an EFL debut for Divine Mukasa. Mukasa is there, can't win it. Nunez out of position here. Calvin Phillips at centre-back now. How will he do? Number 44 for City. Across that near post, James Trafford. Easy one for him. Oh, Trafford with a big mistake! What is Trafford doing there? Goal for Gibbs White. What is Trafford doing there? He's just going to lift it over to Mukasa. And he throws it straight to Mon Gibbs White. And Forrester back in this from nothing. And James Trafford, that is really, really bad. Right to Doku. O'Reilly. What a ball in behind to Doku here. It's Jeremy Doku! It's wide of the post by Doku. He's already made one mistake today. Nearly makes a second. Okay, long to Marmoush. And that is full time. A 2-0 win in the FL Cup sends City through to the next round. And who else to say was man of the match there but Omar Marmoush. Absolutely class. A double. Could have even had a hat-trick. Oscar Bob was fantastic today in the press conference. They mentioned his dribbling, his quality in those areas. Transitions, fast like Forrest, but sometimes Marmoush makes a difference. Marmoush was absolutely fantastic in his finishing. 2 shots, 2 goals. Could have had a hat-trick. And Marmoush really is the standout man that he's getting all the praise in the press conference. Well, next to Manchester City is a game against Burnley. We are going to simulate that one, and this is the side we go with. Donnarumma starts single. It's Nunez, Stones, Vardiol, and Aït-Nouri, the back 4. Captain Bernardo Silva, Rodri, and Phil Foden in midfield 3. Marmoush, of course, a double in midweek has to start, with Bob on the right and Haaland on through the middle. Should be getting 3 points against Burnley side that are in 18th position. And it is a win for Manchester City. It is a 2-0 win, a clean sheet for Gianluigi Donnarumma. And it's the 2 experienced players in City's midfield. Bernardo Silva giving us the lead in the 12th minute. And then it's Rodri in the 86th to get City all the points. One thing I have to say is, Haaland doesn't be scoring too many at the moment, does he? Well, one more simulation before we get into the final game of the episode, which will be away to Brentford in the Premier League. We face off against Bodo Glimt away in the Champions League, and this is the side we go with Doku, Savinho and Haaland our front three, Captain Bernardo, Nico and Shirky our midfield three, Lewis at right back again with our right left back inverted fullbacks with Ake and Diaz in the centre-back roles, and Donnarumma in goal. And it's a 3-1 win away from home for Manchester City. Haaland scores, but does miss a penalty late on. He does get another goal for himself with Savinho on the score sheet as well. A 3-1 win for City, 3 points in the UEFA Champions League, kicking off our perfect record so far, where I think we do go far in Europe this season. We're currently down in 6th position in the Premier League table. Arsenal, Newcastle United up there at the top, fighting for the title at the moment, you could say. We face off today in our final game of the episode against 14th place Brentford. Difficult game away from home against Keith Andrews' side. This time we know with the final game of the episode against Brentford away from home. Donnarumma starts in goal. It's Nunes, Stones, Vardiel and Aït-Nouri. City's back four. Ruben Diaz a little bit tired today, so he's missing out. Nico comes in ahead of Rodri with Captain Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden in the midfield three. It's Bob on the right, Marmoush on the left, Erling Haaland for the middle, and also an appearance once again on the bench for Divine Mukasa, who seems to be a little bit content with his game time. He will keep getting it throughout the season. We will integrate him into this first team squad. Erling Haaland, 2 goals in his last 2 games for Manchester City. He's starting to find his feet, he's starting to find his form, and I think we could score plenty of goals in this season. We just need to find him a little bit more in the middle. I think sometimes we haven't looked for him in the right areas. We can certainly pick him out, we can certainly get him goals. 2 sides are ready here. Keith Andrews' team, I'll be interested in how they do line up. Do they go with a back 5? Do they go with a back 4? That will be key to what Brentford do today. Could we be trying to break down a Brentford side that play on the counter, or are they going to be a little bit more braver and take Manchester City on? Well, there, the Brentford side are captained by Jordan Henderson, a former Liverpool man and someone who's been in a battle in a title race before with Manchester City. He won't be in a title race with City with Brentford, but he certainly will want to do his former side that he used to captain a favour, I'm sure. So this is Keith Andrews' side, and they do go to a back 4, which is interesting, isn't it? Very expansive from then. So Kevin Keller starts in goal. Is Ajer, Vandenberg, Pinnock, and Lewis Potter a back 4. Very attacking, actually, Lewis Potter at wing back. Janelt in there, Damsgaard. Coyote, though, plays at right midfielder. It is sort of a back 5, isn't it, really, for Brentford? Coyote at right midfield. He's going to play. He's more of a full-back. Marmoush. Aït-Nouri. Nico. Bernardo Silva. Haaland. Good touches. Haaland hits one here! Oh, off the crossbar. What an attempt from Erling Haaland to start this one. Cracks the crossbar. What a chance that was. Takes it so comfortably on that left foot. Bernardo Silva to Haaland here. Wide to Omar Marmoush. Marmoush, what a find to Foden. Into Haaland here. Erling Haaland, there you go. 1-0 City at the G-Tech Community Stadium. And it's Erling Haaland with a goal. And this formation and tactic that we used in the game against Nottingham Forest, I'm really liking it. It frees up the wingers to do what they want. It frees up the fullbacks to do what they want. Those wide areas are nice and fluid. And then it's down to the midfielders to pick the pass and so on. It's working so well. This ball by Marmoush to Foden is brilliant. Marmoush, one of our best players this episode, alongside Phil Foden. And there is Erling Haaland to rifle in the top of the net. City 1, Brentford 0. And what a start by Manchester City. And Erling Haaland, there's no stopping that one. I think all his goals so far have been at that near post, haven't they? I think he could, once we get just the idea of unlocking him a little bit more, he could have got 30, 40 goals this season. Coyote to the wide area. Aït-Nouri recovers and Damsgaard does well. Damsgaard here. Back wide to Coyote. Looking for a cross into the box. Aït-Nouri, great defending behind for a corner, really good play. Well, they are very good in set pieces, of course. Keith Andrew, a former set piece coach, now Brentford main coach, a far post to hit the header. I wasn't getting that with Aït-Nouri. Donnarumma had lost it. So slow there to pass it. Control for City, Sharda. Against Stones here. Sharda beats Stones. Sharda passed them all. Donnarumma nice and strong. Comes out and smothers it. Behind for a corner. Bernardo. Right to Oscar Bob. In behind to Nunes here. Control for the opposition. Nunes near post. Haaland with a slam. And a save by Killer. Behind for a corner. Marmoush. Vardiel. Aït-Nouri. In behind here. Haaland will get there. Haaland will get there! Save by Killer for a corner. Could have gone back into Aït-Nouri in the centre, possibly. Marmoush. Aït-Nouri. Nico. Aït-Nouri. Marmoush. Foden. Marmoush. Marmoush! 2-0 Manchester City. What a goal that is. What a goal that is off the left-hand side. Aït-Nouri and Phil Foden picking up those pockets of space. Pass, pass, pass, little passes. His first Premier League goal of the season. Really nicely done. And Marmoush goes and finishes off the chance as well. Very impressed by Hungary. I really am. Foden with the assist. Marmoush gets it onto his stronger right foot. I mean, Haaland's in there in case he needs to go and get the goal. But Marmoush is confident enough to get the goal himself. So, Premier League debut for Divine Mukasa, who comes on here for Manchester City. I knew he comes off at left back. Another really good performance by him. Mukasa wins the header. And Haaland. And Shirky is in. And Ryan Shirky off the bench to make it 3. An assist for Haaland and a goal for Ryan Shirky. Off the bench. First touch is putting it in the back of the net. What an instant impact from Ryan Shirky here. Very, very impressive by the man off the right there. Mukasa wins the header. Haaland on the turn. Just plays it through to Shirky. 1 touch, 2 touch, bang. Top corner. What a hit. What a finish. City 3, Brentford 0. I mean, Mukasa picked Eda Kovacic today as well, which does show the faith from Pep Guardiola. Shard is a pass through there. He does make it. Damsgaard is there, and there is Donnarumma again. All 6'5", the big Italian. And towards Haaland. On the chest. Foden. Mukasa. Shirky. Nunes in. Haaland is there! It's 4-0 City. It's Haaland with a double. What a ball by Matheus Nunes. And this City side just feel like they're coming together at the moment. They really do. 5 goals in 7 appearances so far in the Premier League for Erling Haaland. A diving header. Nunes puts it in such a dangerous area. He says, attack this. What we do so well there is we pull the defensive line of Brentford out. And as we pull it out, Shirky plays the ball in behind to Nunes and he whips it in behind. Haaland's reset, got back on side because he's that sort of player. He's a monster in front of goal. Back towards O'Reilly. Marmoush into the channel to Haaland here. He's gone again here. Erling Haaland from this angle. Not going to miss. Hat-trick Haaland. Here we go. He is starting the season so well. Hat-trick for Erling Haaland. 6 in 7 now. He just peels off the strikers so well. Off the defenders. In a great position. Across the goalkeeper. Fantastic from Haaland. 5-0 Manchester City lead at Brentford. And through to Haaland with a fantastic ball. Haaland against Dyer. Foden. What a ball through to Haaland here. Haaland to seal it for 6. Haaland makes it 4. 7 in 7 for City's striking Viking. 6-0 against Brentford. And that is ridiculous. What a player. And that is full time. Manchester City 6, Brentford 0. 4 or 5 goals scored from Erling Haaland. I think it was 4 goals scored today of 8 total attempts. City on absolute fire. And I cannot wait for the next episode if that's the form we go into it with. Thanks for watching. Please like the video if you haven't already. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you want to see and get the jump on everyone else in terms of seeing these episodes early, join the We Are City Members Club. Join the Silver Club for early access. Join the Bronze Club for extended episodes as well. We'll see you guys next time.